Hi everyone, and welcome to our first video lecture for CIS 261. This week we're diving right into the command line. The terminal can seem intimidating at first, but it's the most powerful tools a system administrator has. In this video, we're going to learn about the structure of the file system, how to find our way around, perform some basic file operations, and use the VI text editor. Let's get started. Before we start typing commands, it's important to understand how Linux organizes its files. This is a diagram of the File System Hierarchy Standard, or FHS. Unlike Windows with its C drive, Linux has a single unified structure starting from the root directory, which is just a single /. Everything in the system lives under this root directory. We can see these main directories right here from the command line by listing the contents of the root directory. You'll see important folders like /bin for essential programs, /etc for configuration files, /home where all user directories live, and /var for variable data like logs. You don't need to memorize all of these now, but it's good to know that the file system has a logical, standardized structure. Okay, let's start navigating. The first command we need is pwd for print working directory. This tells you exactly where you are. As you can see, we're in /home /msmith, my user's home directory. And let's go ahead and go full screen. To see what's in our current directory, we use ls for list. I'm going to add the ls -l flag to get a long listing format, which gives us more detail. We'll come back to this later. To change our location, we use cd for change directory. I'll type cd documents. Remember, in Linux, capitalization matters. So lowercase d documents and uppercase D documents would be two separate directories. Now, if I run pwd again, you can see my location has changed. To go up one level in the directory tree, you can use cd space ... And you can see we're back in my home directory. So now let's look at basic file manipulation. So let's create a new directory with the mkdir for make directory. I'll call it my new folder. And ls shows it's been created. Let's go into that new folder. cd my new. And one thing that's really nice is I can press tab. As long as it's enough unique letters to not confuse with any other directory, I can just press tab and it'll automatically complete it. So let's go into that new folder. Now I'll create an empty file using the touch command. Touch my test file.txt. List. To copy a file, we use cp. The syntax is cp, the source, and then the destination. So let's copy my test file.txt to my test file _copy.txt. And if I list, I can see that I just copied this to this. I could also copy it to another directory. Let's clear, and that just gets rid of our screen. All the files are still there. It just gets rid of the screen. So the mv command is for move, but we also use it to rename files. So if I move my test file underscore copy.txt, and I say my test file underscore renamed.txt, and I list, I can see that what was my test file copy.txt has now been called my test file renamed.txt. Of course, I could also use this to move it to another directory. Basically, the copy command would be similar for GUIs as a copy and paste, where the move command would be similar to a cut and paste. Finally, to remove a file, we use rm. Be careful with this one. There's no recycle bin on the command line. So we're going to remove my test, and notice when I press tab, right now, it can't do anymore because there's two my test file. So it could be renamed or the regular one. We're going to go to rename, so all I got to type is enough unique and press tab. It's automatically going to select that. So this will delete the file, and it's gone. Now, for our last objective, a quick introduction to the VI text editor. I'll open our test file by typing VI my test file. Welcome to VI. The most important thing to know is that VI has two main modes: command mode, which we are in now, and insert mode. To start typing, I need to enter insert mode. I do that by pressing the I key. You can see the insert message at the bottom. Now I can type like a normal text editor. I'll just type hello world into the file. To save the file, I first need to get back to the command mode. I do that by pressing the escape key. The insert message is gone. Now that I'm in command mode, I can issue commands to VI. I'll type a colon, then W for write, and Q for quit. So colon WQ writes the file and quits. If I didn't want to write, say I opened VI with a file that already had stuff, and I didn't want to write to it, and I just want to get out, then I can go colon Q exclamation point. And that will quit the file without saving anything. But we want to save, so colon WQ. And to see if this is actually in there, I can run something called cat. And cat will display what's inside any file. So let's just see if we actually have hello world in there. And there it is. And that's a very quick introduction to the file system, navigation, file commands, and the VI editor. Practice is key, so be sure to work through this week's lab to build your muscle memory. As always, if you have any questions, please post them in the class Q&A forum. Thanks for watching.